Hey everyone, and welcome back to Thesaurus Thrive. I'm Zio, and I'm so excited to be here with you today.
And I'm Harper. It's great to connect with all of you amazing English learners out there. Zio, I've got a question for you and for everyone listening. Have you ever woken up and thought, I really need to change something in my life, or maybe, I wish my English was better, I wish I could express myself more naturally?
Oh, absolutely, Harper. That's a feeling I think many of us can relate to. We all have those moments, right? Where we feel like we're stuck, or we want more, or we want to achieve something significant, like becoming fluent in English. It's a very human experience.
Exactly! And that's actually our topic for today. We're going to talk about how to actually change your life. And guess what? We're going to do it all in English, making it super easy and fun for you to follow along and improve your speaking skills. We'll cover practical steps, give you some great vocabulary, and even a chance to practice speaking.
That's right. So, by the end of this episode, you won't just have some fantastic new English phrases and a clearer understanding of how to make positive changes. You'll also feel more confident expressing these ideas yourself. We're focusing on natural, daily English conversation, so no complex grammar explanations, just real talk.
Let's dive right in. Zio, when we talk about changing your life, it sounds big, right? Maybe even a bit overwhelming for some people. What do you think is the first step, the very first thing someone should consider if they want to make a real change?
That's a brilliant point, Harper. It does sound huge. And I think the first step, truly, is defining what change means to you. What specific area do you want to improve? Is it your health, your career, your relationships, or maybe your English fluency? You need to get really clear. For example, I want to improve my English. Is good, but I want to speak English confidently in job interviews is much more specific.
Ah, specificity. That's a powerful word right there. So instead of a vague desire, we're talking about a clear target. It's like when you're trying to hit a bullseye. You don't just shoot in any direction, you aim for the center. If your goal is to speak English better, what exactly does better look like?
Exactly. Does better mean being able to order coffee without hesitation? Or does it mean discussing complex topics with native speakers? Or understanding podcasts like ours without subtitles? Once you identify the specific aspect, the path forward becomes much clearer. This is often called setting a clear vision or defining your outcome.
That makes so much sense. So the first step is clarity, really knowing what you want to change. And once you have that clear vision, what's the next logical step? Because a vision by itself doesn't really do anything, right?
You got it. A vision is a great starting point, but it's just a dream without action. The next crucial step is breaking it down. Think of your big goal, let's say becoming fluent in English, and then break it into smaller, manageable steps. If you try to eat a whole elephant at once, it's impossible. But if you cut it into small pieces, well, maybe not an elephant, but you get the idea.
Laughs. I love that analogy, Zio. So for English learning, breaking it down might mean, instead of I want to be fluent, it could be this month I will learn 50 new common verbs, or this week I will practice speaking for 15 minutes every day. Is that what you mean by breaking it down?
Precisely. Those are excellent examples. You take that big goal and turn it into actionable steps. Actionable means you can actually do them. They're not too big, they're not too vague. They are concrete tasks. For instance, if your big goal is to run a marathon, an actionable step isn't run a marathon, it's run 30 minutes 3 times this week.
I see. And this really helps prevent that feeling of being overwhelmed, which often causes people to give up before they even start. If the steps are too big, it feels impossible. But small steps, repeated consistently, that sounds like a recipe for success.
Absolutely, which leads us perfectly into the third crucial element, consistency and habit formation. Once you have your clear vision and your actionable steps, the magic happens when you turn those steps into daily or weekly habits. Changing your life isn't about one big event, it's about a series of small, consistent actions.
Habit formation! This is huge. I mean, we all have habits, good and bad, maybe scrolling on our phones for hours or drinking too much coffee, but we can also choose to build new positive habits. How do we make these new change-your-life actions stick, Zio?
Great question, Harper. The key is to start small, as we discussed. Don't try to go from 0 English practice to 2 hours a day. Start with 5 minutes. 5 minutes of listening to an English song, 5 minutes of repeating sentences, 5 minutes of thinking in English while you wash dishes. When something is easy to start, you're much more likely to do it consistently. This also ties into what we call stacking habits, which is another powerful technique.
Oh, stacking habits. That sounds interesting. Can you explain that a bit more for our listeners?
Of course, habit stacking means you attach a new habit to an existing one. For example, if you already drink coffee every morning, you could decide, after I pour my coffee, I will listen to an English podcast for 10 minutes. Or, after I brush my teeth, I will repeat 5 English phrases aloud. You're using an established routine as a trigger for your new desired behavior. It makes it easier to remember and to do.
That's brilliant! So you're leveraging something you already do without thinking to kickstart something you want to do. It almost tricks your brain into doing the new thing. And for English learners, this could be incredibly useful. Imagine every time you open a social media app, you instead spend 2 minutes reading an English article.
Exactly! It's all about making it simple and almost automatic. Another key part of habit formation is tracking your progress. This doesn't have to be complicated, just a simple calendar where you mark an X every day you complete your small English task. Seeing those X's build up creates a visual reward and motivates you to keep going. It gives you a sense of achievement.
I love that. It's like a little game with yourself, and it shows you that even tiny, consistent efforts really add up over time. It's not about perfection, it's about persistence. What if someone misses a day, though? Does that mean they've failed and they should just give up?
Oh, absolutely not. That's a common misconception. Missing a day is completely normal. The important thing is don't miss twice. If you miss one day, just get back on track the next day. Don't let one missed day turn into a week, then a month. Be kind to yourself, forgive yourself, and recommit. That's a huge part of resilience when you're trying to change anything.
That's such an important point. We often beat ourselves up for not being perfect, but life happens, right? We get busy, we get tired. The key is to just keep moving forward. So we've talked about clarity, breaking it down, and building habits. What about the mindset aspect, Zio? How does our thinking play a role in actually changing our lives?
The mindset, Harper, is everything. It's the foundation. If you don't believe you can change, you won't. We often talk about growth mindsets versus fixed mindset. A fixed mindset believes abilities are set in stone. I'm not good at English. I can't change. A growth mindset believes abilities can be developed through hard work and dedication. I can improve my English with practice.
Ah, the growth mindset. I've heard that term, and it's so powerful. It means that our intelligence, our skills, even our personality traits are not fixed. They can grow and develop. So if I believe I can't speak English well, that's a fixed mindset. But if I say, my English isn't perfect yet, but I can learn and improve, that's a growth mindset, right?
Exactly. It's a subtle but incredibly impactful shift in perspective. And for English learners, this is crucial. Don't tell yourself I'm bad at grammar. Instead, tell yourself I'm learning grammar and I'm getting better every day. This positive self-talk, this belief in your own ability to improve, makes a huge difference in your motivation and persistence.
Self-talk is key. What we say to ourselves, even inside our heads, really shapes our reality. If you constantly tell yourself you can't do it, you probably won't. But if you encourage yourself, celebrate small wins, and see challenges as opportunities to learn, then you're truly on your way.
Absolutely, and let's talk about overcoming obstacles, because changing your life, whether it's getting fitter or becoming fluent in English, will inevitably come with challenges. You'll have days when you don't feel motivated, or you make mistakes, or you feel frustrated. That's normal.
Oh, the frustration. Every English learner knows that feeling. You're trying to say something, but the words just won't come out right. Or you're listening to a native speaker and you only catch half of what they say. It can be really disheartening.
It can be, but here's where the growth mindset really kicks in. Instead of viewing those obstacles as proof that you're not good enough, view them as learning opportunities. Every mistake you make in English is a chance to learn something new. Every time you struggle with a sentence, it means you're pushing your boundaries. You're trying, and that's what matters.
That's such a positive reframe. So instead of, oh no, I made a mistake, it's, okay, that was a mistake, now I know how to say it correctly next time. It turns a negative into a positive, a setback into a step forward.
Precisely. And sometimes overcoming obstacles also means asking for help. Don't be afraid to ask a native speaker to clarify something, or to ask a teacher for extra explanation, or to use an online dictionary. We are all here to learn and grow, and part of that is recognizing when we need support.
Yes, absolutely. It's not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength to know when to seek help. All right, Zio, we've covered some really important ground on how to change your life, from clarity and breaking it down to building habits and having a growth mindset. Now, let's tie this into our English learning journey specifically. How does understanding these principles help someone improve their spoken English?
It's completely intertwined, Harper. If you want to improve your spoken English, you apply the exact same principles. First, get clear what exactly do you want to achieve with your English. Second, break it down. What are the small, actionable steps you can take daily or weekly? Third, build habits. How can you consistently integrate English into your daily routine? Fourth, develop a growth mindset. Believe in your ability to learn and improve, even through mistakes.
So it's not just abstract life advice, it's a practical framework for mastering a new skill like English. It makes so much sense. For example, my clear vision might be, I want to be able to have a 10-minute conversation with a native English speaker about my hobbies without feeling nervous.
Perfect. And then breaking it down could be, this week I will learn 10 new words related to my hobbies. I will practice describing one hobby in English for 5 minutes every day. I will try to find a language exchange partner to practice with for 10 minutes by the end of the month. See, it's all about those small, concrete steps.
And the habit part? I could say, every evening after dinner, I will spend 15 minutes reviewing hobby-related vocabulary and practicing speaking to myself in English in front of a mirror. That's a great habit stack right there.
Absolutely, you're getting it. And when you approach English learning with this structured, intentional mindset, you're not just hoping to improve, you're actively building the framework for improvement. You're taking control of your learning journey.
This is so motivating. All right, I think it's time for our practice section. This is where you, our amazing listeners, get to speak along with us. Remember, don't just listen, speak. It's crucial for improving your fluency. I'll say a sentence and then Zio and I will give you a moment to repeat it aloud. Ready?
Ready. It's your turn to shine, everyone.
Okay, sentence 1. I want to make a positive change in my life. Go ahead, repeat after me. I want to make a positive change in my life.
Great job. Let's try the next one. Setting clear goals helps me focus. Your turn. Setting clear goals helps me focus.
Fantastic! Here's the third one. Small, consistent actions lead to big results. Repeat. Small, consistent actions lead to big results.
Excellent. And the fourth, I can improve my English with practice. Say it loud and clear. I can improve my English with practice.
Wonderful. Last one for today. I'm building new habits for success. Let's hear you. I'm building new habits for success.
Amazing! Remember to practice these sentences and others you hear today. Speaking aloud is truly the fastest way to build confidence and fluency.
Now, let's quickly demonstrate how some of these ideas might sound in a mini conversation. Zio, let's imagine we're friends talking about New Year's resolutions, okay?
Sounds good. I'm ready.
Hey Zio, I'm feeling really motivated this year. I've decided I want to actually change my life.
That's fantastic, Harper. What specifically are you thinking of changing? You know, setting a clear vision is the first step.
Well, mostly my fitness. I want to run a 10K race by summer. It's a big goal, so I need to break it down into smaller steps.
Smart. So what's one of your actionable steps for this week?
This week, I'm going to jog for 20 minutes 3 times, and I'm going to stack that habit by doing it right after my morning coffee.
Perfect. That's great consistency. And what if you miss a day?
Oh, I won't let it derail me. I'll just get back on track the next day. I'm focusing on a growth mindset. I know I can improve.
That's the spirit. You've got this. And the same applies to English, right? We set clear goals, break them down, and build consistent habits.
Absolutely. It's all about the daily actions. See how those phrases naturally come into conversation? You can do it too.
All right, everyone, we're coming to the end of this incredibly motivating episode. Before we sign off, Harper, what are your top 2 to 3 practical tips for our listeners to not only change their lives, but specifically to improve their English fluency, keeping all we've discussed in mind?
Oh, I have a few that I really believe in. My first tip, immerse yourself daily. This doesn't mean you have to move to an English-speaking country. It means creating an English environment where you are. Change your phone settings to English, listen to English music, watch English TV shows with subtitles, or better yet, without. Read simple English news articles. Make English a natural part of your everyday life, not just something you study in a textbook.
I couldn't agree more with that, Harper. Immersion is truly powerful. It turns learning into living. What's your second tip?
My second tip is embrace mistakes as learning opportunities. We talked about this, but it's so important it deserves its own spotlight. When you're speaking English, you will make mistakes. Everyone does, even native speakers sometimes. Don't let the fear of making a mistake stop you from speaking. Think of each mistake as a mini lesson. It shows you exactly what you need to review or learn next. The more you speak, the more mistakes you'll make, and the faster you'll learn and improve.
That's fantastic advice. Fear of making mistakes is a huge barrier for many learners. So let's all promise to embrace our mistakes, right? They're signs of progress. And your final tip?
My third and final tip is find your speaking opportunities. This is the action part of changing your life. Don't just consume English, produce it. Find a language exchange partner, join an online English conversation group, or even just practice speaking to yourself in the mirror. Describe your day, tell a story, or practice a presentation you need to give. The more you speak, the more confident and natural you'll become. It's like going to the gym for your English muscles.
Those are absolutely brilliant, Harper. Immerse, embrace mistakes, and find speaking opportunities. If you apply these tips with the mindset of setting clear goals, breaking them down, and building consistent habits, you are truly on your way to actually changing your life through English fluency.
Thank you so much, Zio, for this insightful conversation today. It's been a pleasure exploring these topics with you and with all our listeners.
My pleasure, Harper. To all our listeners, remember, your journey to fluency, just like any other life change, is a marathon, not a sprint. Be patient with yourself, celebrate your small victories, and keep showing up every single day. Even 5 minutes of consistent effort makes a massive difference over time.
Absolutely. We hope this episode has inspired you and given you some clear, actionable steps for both changing your life and boosting your English. If you found this helpful, please hit that like button, share this episode with a friend who's also learning English, and subscribe to Thesaurus Thrive for more engaging content.
Yes, your support means the world to us and helps us reach more learners like you. Keep practicing your English daily, and remember, every word you learn, every sentence you speak brings you closer to your goals. You've got this.
From Zio and myself, Harper, keep thriving, keep learning, and we'll catch you in the next episode of Thesaurus Thrive. Bye for now.